Collaborate and promote visibility. This is our fourth guiding principle. Now, when we talk about this, it's all about collaborating across our staff and even with our consumers and our customers. When we have an initiative that involves the right people in the correct roles, we get a lot of benefit from better buy-in, more relevance, and increased likelihood of long-term success. Collaboration is all about working together. We need to share information. We need to build trust. We need to build understanding. We need to understand that there's real accomplishment that can happen when we work across the staff and get out of our own little pigeonholed silos. For example, if I'm building a new service and I want to build it all completely in the IT realm, but it's going to affect the marketing team, that is not going to have good long-term success. Instead, I should get people from the marketing team to work with us as we build this service for them, because that way we understand better what their roles are and their intended outcomes. We understand the way they're going to work with this service, right? And so by collaborating across, we're going to get a better product. The other part of this is it's going to increase visibility. They're going to understand where we are in the development. And so it's going to make them happier and be able to understand exactly where we are and if we're hitting our milestones and if we're going to get the product out in time to do what they needed. When we look at this, there are people and perspectives for successful collaboration across all of your stakeholder groups. You alone do not have the right answers, but when you work with everybody together, we do come up with better solutions. This means that the service provider needs to work with their customers. The developers need to work with operations. The suppliers need to work with the organization. All of these collaborations are going to give us a better end product. Now, if we don't have transparency and we don't give good visibility, what ends up happening? Well, we start getting this impression that work is not a priority. For example, the people in marketing that I'm building this site for don't necessarily know that I've got 50 other tasks that I'm working. They're only tracking the one, and they think theirs is the most important. And they might only want a small improvement to their site. Maybe they want to change some font colors. Well, is changing the font colors more important than fixing something that has been down and is costing us money? Well, no, but they don't know that because you're not being transparent with them. So by going through and showing them and saying, hey, I understand this is your priority, but it's not the highest priority right now because we have other more urgent tasks that are being dealt with. You got to be transparent this way. Show people where your outages are. Show them what you're working on and give them an idea of when you're going to get to their particular problem. If you have an insufficient amount of visibility, your work is going to lead to poor decision making because somebody above you may not understand what all the things are that you're working on, right? And your boss comes in and says, hey, the marketing director just came and complained that the font is blue, but it should be green. I need you to change that right now. Drop everything you're doing. And he might not even understand that you're currently working on a server outage that's preventing your company from being able to process your credit card payments. And that's costing you, say, $100,000 a day. That would be more important to work on than the green to blue font change, right? So this is the kind of idea of things you need to think about, is making sure that everyone up and down and across has visibility into what the organization is working on. This helps make sure everybody understands the flow of work, they can identify the bottlenecks and the excess capacity that exists, and we can uncover waste to make sure that we're all working much more efficiently. If you work in an agile development area, you may have something like a Kanban board, which shows everything that people are working on at that time. What work is in progress, what work needs to be worked on, and what work was already completed. That's a great way to increase visibility. Another agile technique that I've seen used is what's known as an information radiator. This is a big board in a central area that shows the progress map of what's being worked on, the risks that we've identified, the issues that have come up, and other important information. This is being fully transparent and showing everybody what you have and what you're working on. This is the ultimate in visibility and collaboration. So as we think about the key takeaways here from collaboration and visibility, I want you to think about this. Collaboration does not mean consensus. Now, what do I mean by that statement? When it comes down to it, I want you to collaborate. I want you to work as a team. But at the end of the day, somebody is in charge of this project. Somebody is in charge of this service. And that person gets to make the decisions. They should take in the input from everybody's suggestions, but they're ultimately going to be the ones making the decision. And that's why collaboration, communication, and visibility is important, because that decision maker is going to decide which trajectory and how we're going to build that service is going to be done. Next, I also want you to remember that communicating is important, and you have to communicate in a way that the audience can hear. If I'm working with marketing folks, I'm not going to talk to them about bits and bytes and all of the technical details of the service. Instead, we're going to talk about outputs and outcomes. What do they hope to get from the service? What are they going to put in and what are they expecting to get out? Talk to them in a way they can hear and understand. And finally, remember that decisions can only be made on the visible parts of the project. So if you don't have good visibility and they don't understand all of your pain points, all of your issues, and all of your risks, then leadership can't make the right decisions. That's part of this collaboration and visibility too, making sure the information is getting up to the right people at the right level to make the right decisions.